Yeah, I'm sure Flo would tell you that it's not that much defense for them, but when you're on an offensive perspective, it just seems like a lot of variety of fronts and coverages and personnel groups, and so he does a good job mixing everything up. And each week's a little bit different. He has a different flavor. He played us a certain way week one that was a little bit different what uh, than what maybe you would have seen the last couple years, and then you look at the last few weeks, he changes it up, and so um, a lot of it's based on who he has at his disposal as well. Week one they didn't have Harrison Smith, and so guys are in, they're out. Van Ginkel's in and out. Renard, we'll see where he's at here this week, and so he does as good of a job as anybody making sure he puts his guys in a good spot and keep the opposing play caller guessing. No, I think it takes me back to my early days in Miami when you'd go against New England. You just didn't know what they were going to be each week. Some weeks they would come out and throw it 50 times. Other weeks they would come out and run it 50 times. And um, same thing with their defense. You just didn't know what front they were going to major in and what they were keying in on. And I think a lot of those elements, how he was brought up, probably carries over to his philosophy now. And it shows up. It shows up for him. And so, yeah, it does create issues as you're trying to game plan because you want to make sure you're sound. You want to make sure that you got guys accounted for, and yet if you do too much, you run the risk of guys thinking too much and they start playing slow, and the defense feasts on you that way too. So that's the challenge, and that's the balance we're trying to strike here this week.